Hey guys, so basically today in this video I'm going to be talking you through Khal and Fiona's first shows. Their first show was at Cavan. It was a 2-day show. On the first day I jumped Khal in the 90 because there was no 80 and that was a mistake. I should have waited for the next day and jumped the 80. He was quite nervous. He's really confident at home, but he just doesn't have that confidence at shows. So this is the next day then. This is the 80 centimeters, and he had some trouble with the double on the Saturday, so we schooled him over a double the previous night, and he was way more confident than the next day. Here he spooks at the wheelbarrow that's after the fence, and I nearly fell off, so yeah, that was a good start. But I was really happy with him. He was definitely spooky, but more confident and more forward. And I just feel like he learned more and more even just as the course went on. Here he wasn't sure if he should jump over the fence out of the arena or not, but I convinced him to choose the easier option and just move to the next fence. There was also quite a few fillers in this course, which he absolutely just flew over. This is a double, which I was obviously a bit nervous about, but he just flew it. I was really proud of him. Our little schooling session the night before obviously really did a good job. And for a small horse, he has a big stride, and he really makes up ground, especially in doubles and stuff. So as he gets more confident, he's going to have to start sitting up, because he just absolutely flies into doubles and makes up the ground very easily. For those of you who don't know, Khal is our 4-year-old homebred, so he's just a baby, you know. He used to be really spooky at fillers at home, but I jumped loads and loads of them, and I made weird fillers, and I just kind of trotted him to them and made sure he always ended on a good note. And even if he was a bit worried about them, I try and reassure him and then get him over it nicely, so that he learned that when he's scared of something, and if I ask him to do it, it's usually going to end up okay, and he's not going to, get into any trouble. So next up was Fiona. Fiona was definitely a bit of a unknown. All last summer she was rearing, and I couldn't really ride her, and yeah, it was just a whole load of trouble. So I wasn't sure if she would come here and just flip out and panic, or if she'd ace it, and turns out she absolutely aced it and jumps clear in her first ever show. This is the 90 on the first day, and you can see that sometimes she gets very strong before the fence and kind of does this jump thing, but as the round goes on, she definitely settles down and kind of listens to me a lot better. She throws some really nice jumps, and then she also throws some jumps that are not so nice. But I feel like the nice ones really give me hope that there's more of that to come. And it's really exciting. Fiona is a 10-year-old mare, but she went to one show as a 4-year-old where she was eliminated, which was a good start. I wasn't riding her then. Someone else broke her and rode her as a 4-year-old, even though we owned her. Someone else was riding her, because I wasn't very experienced at that stage, and she was a huge horse, I was just a little kid, so we got someone more experienced. You can see that she is extremely brave. There is no filler or spooky jump or anything that will stop her, Once she locks onto a jump, she is jumping it. I really feel like I could just aim her at like those green dividers at the other side of the arena, and she would just jump them. Like, she's actually just mad in the best way possible. Oh, and there I forgot my turn, and I pulled in way too tight, and then realised where the jump was, and I had to almost stop her and trot her to the fence. But again, luckily she is just super brave and jumped it no problem at all. So this next round is Khal's round this weekend, and we jumped the 80 and 90 at Mullingar. He hasn't been in Mullingar in ages. He schooled here once. As you can see, the weather was not in our favour. It was a lashing rain for his first round. It was absolutely miserable. I almost wanted to just go home, but no, I sucked it up. All our heat wave weather has made me a bit soft, and I wasn't so happy about this rain. So yeah, I was a little bit nervous for this round in case we had a repeat of Cavan where he got very spooky and didn't want to jump and was just really backwards. But I was so happy. He was super confident, just, flew over everything. And the double was absolutely no problem. Excuse my dad's somewhat questionable filming. He was kind of wanting to watch Khal because he really likes Khal. Obviously, he's our homebred. So it's very exciting to watch him at his first show. Here I completely forgot where the jump was and pulled him at the very last minute, and he was an absolute saint to jump it. I actually can't believe he jumped it, but unfortunately he did have it down, since he was absolutely underneath it. So that was our 4 faults for this round, which was a pity. It would have been nice to just say he went clear, but in my head he kind of went clear because that wasn't his fault at all. So yeah, he stayed very steady. He was in a nice rhythm. He did a few flying changes throughout the course. I hooshed him at that triple bar for absolutely no reason. That was stupid. Yeah, he's a good boy. And then there's a nice little vertical and then a line to a double, which he didn't care about. And then we jumped over the final fence, which was a nice little oxer, and he was a good boy. Next up is Khal's round in the 90. So again, I was a little bit nervous because I was like, oh no, it's a whole 10 centimeters higher. What will he do? But of course he didn't care. He just jumped it. The course was slightly different. They took out that jump that I almost forgot because I wasn't the only one that almost forgot it. And yeah, he just jumped around very, very nicely. Again, with the same as Fiona, some jumps are just so nice, and then some jumps are just a little bit awkward. Like this one, I pulled him way too much and then nearly fell off. I don't know what I was doing. I forget that I'm so used to Welbeck, I just hold and she sits up and we get a nice stride. But with these younger horses and less experienced, you can't just hold them. They don't have the strength or the balance to shorten their stride. So you just need to keep them moving forward on a nice rhythm, and they'll find their own stride. And as they get stronger and wiser, they will start to shorten up and you'll become more adjustable. So he absolutely flew that double. I was so happy. I think I ride the doubles better because I ride them stronger, and he needs that kind of riding. He needs just to be ridden forward into fences. I ride that one quite forward and he just jumps it, but then I do sit up a bit because he was getting a little bit away with me for this next double, which he again pops over. Oh yeah, that was me leaving out stride for no apparent reason. I promise you, our rounds are going to get smoother and nicer looking, but for now, it's a bit of a, me just riding by feel and trying to get the job done. He did knock a vertical earlier in the course. I don't know if you saw it. He just kind of tipped. It was a little vertical. Didn't get too super straight and jumped on a bit of an angle. I need to be more disciplined. This has definitely taught me that. And then he flies over the last. No problem at all. So this is Fiona's round in the 90. Again, the same as Cavan at the start. She's a little bit strong, but she definitely does get a lot better. That first fence was very nice, but this next line was not so nice. She kind of fights me coming into the vertical. You see her shaking her head. When I ask her to slow down, she says, nah, I know best. And then she decides to take a stride out, and I nearly fall off. Which was a great start to the round. But after that, I think she kind of realised that maybe Holly knows a little bit about what she's talking about and what she's asking me to do, and she starts to listen to me a bit more. So the next few jumps were very nice, and she really comes back to me and is in a better rhythm and has some nice careful jumps. She always has such a round shape. She really drops her head over jumps. Someone actually said that she looks like she would be a great hunter, like in America. And I don't know much about that class, but I know that they have that very like nose to knees look, and she definitely has that. But I don't think she would make a good hunter in any other way, because her movement isn't that nice and she's a bit of a big gangly monster. But yeah, she just kind of pops around. Once she stays in her rhythm, the strides come up really nice. I just have to kind of sit there and not interfere too much. Here I leave out a stride very easily, because she just jumps better that way. But I am going to work on shortening her and getting a bit more adjustability. Here I asked her to sit back and she really did, so I had to kind of push her forward a little bit there. But then she does this nice tight turn. I'm just absolutely over the moon with her. She's really come on. She goes clear in this round, you know. She's just being absolutely brilliant. A brilliant horse. I'm really, really proud of her. And over the last. Next up is Fiona's 1 metre round, which she absolutely aced as well. She was much more controllable from the start. I think this line was a bit wobbly. Yeah, I jumped that. I overshot my turn, so I jumped 2 at an angle, which left my line not very straight. Here she fought me a bit, but stayed very careful to the base of that. But yeah, after this she really settled down. She was riding very nicely. We're starting to work on her cantering around a bit more in an outline, not so nose pointed outwards, but that will come with time. I can't rush these things, especially with her, because she is quite weak and big. Started to rain for this round again, which was real nice. I love Irish weather. Here she wasn't super straight and she just tipped that vertical coming in, but don't really mind that, you know. This is all just learning for her. And for me, learning to ride her. She's so different to any horse I've ever ridden before. But then we have some really nice jumps where she just jumps out of her stride. Really nice rhythm. She's a very careful mare, especially for her size. She really tries her best not to hit jumps. Unless I really mess her up. But yeah, we're really, really getting there. It's just such an improvement. I can't believe how far we've come already. Next weekend we're going to be jumping the 110 if all goes to plan, so that's going to be pretty exciting. Her 3rd show jumping the 110, but I think she's ready, you know. She's jumping really confident, she's forward, she's happy, and then I just jump over the last here now, and she's a great girl. 4 faults in her 2nd over metre. So lastly is my round on this horse called Red. I'm riding him for a friend. He's actually for sale. I'll put any details I have in the description. This is only my first time jumping him at a show and only my 2nd time riding him. And this is in the Metre. So he is pretty different to my horses just because he is quite small, especially compared to Fiona. So I don't always get him to a good spot in front of fences. You know, need to work on that a bit. But I'm going to jump him during the week this week and try and get a bit more used to his jump. When I get it right, he jumps so nice. He's such a careful horse. So I just need to get it right more often. But he's so good. If I don't get it right, he really helps me out, you know. He's really going to try his best not to hit these jumps. Sometimes he jumps very careful and almost unseats me. And just because he's so small, I feel like I can't lean forward too much. So that's why I do that kind of weird jumping position where I just sit up. Just because I just don't feel like there's much neck in front of me. But that is definitely because I just came from Fiona, who has a neck about a mile long. So it's a bit of a difference. We were actually clearing this round and we placed because Fiona and Khal were just on temporary tickets because they're not registered with Show Jumping Ireland. But this guy is. So we placed, which was cool. And because it was the league final, And here I absolutely just made a complete balls of that. I was doing Fiona strides, like the 5 strides for Fiona, but it was actually a 6 stride distance, but I just forgot and bloody rode like a lunatic and tried to get 5 strides. But yeah, you live and you learn. He saved my ass big time. And then he just kind of popped around. The rest is pretty nice. He's so careful. We're also going to jump the 110 next weekend if all goes well. I'm going to jump the metre the first day and then the metre and the metre 10 the second day. And yeah, I'm so excited for him. There'll probably be more videos and stuff on my Instagram of him in the next few weeks. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.